In this guide, the exact difference between ACR and AMR in OpenID Connect, why AMR equals password plus auth does not automatically imply one universal assurance level, how ACR values request stronger authentication while the ID token returns ACR and AMR claims, and where this matters in step-up auth, MFA policy, and identity assurance. Identity expert, powering you to be an expert in identity. ACR and AMR are among the most frequently confused claims in OpenID Connect. AMR means Authentication Methods References. It tells the relying party which methods were used during login, like password, auth, hardware key, or face recognition. ACR means Authentication Context Class Reference. It tells the relying party the assurance class or policy outcome the authorization server says that whole login achieved. Those are not the same thing. Two logins can both report AMR as password plus auth, yet land at different assurance levels because the devices, enrollment rules, phishing resistance, and proofing policy were different. AMR tells you what happened. ACR tells you what that result is worth. Think of airport security. AMR is the checklist of steps the passenger went through: passport check, bag scan, metal detector, maybe secondary inspection. ACR is the final lane classification stamped onto the boarding process: domestic, baseline, trusted traveler, or high assurance international departure. Two airports can use a similar checklist but still assign different trust classes because their equipment, staffing, and verification rules are not identical. That is the relationship between AMR and ACR. Methods are ingredients. Assurance is the adjudicated outcome. Why does this distinction matter? Because systems break when they collapse method evidence into assurance policy. If an API sees AMR equals password plus auth and blindly assumes that means strong authentication everywhere, it ignores the fact that one tenant might allow SMS auth while another requires phishing-resistant WebAuthn hardware. The OIDC core specification leaves ACR values intentionally flexible so ecosystems can define their own assurance classes. RFC 8176 standardizes AMR vocabulary values like PWD, auth, HWK, and MFA. The first tells you what was observed. The second tells you how the authorization server mapped that observation into a policy level. Confusing them causes both under-enforcement and false confidence. The flow has 4 parts. First, the client may request a target assurance outcome using the ACR values parameter in the authorization request. That is the client saying these are the authentication contexts I can accept, ordered by preference. Second, the authorization server authenticates the user using whatever methods its policy requires to satisfy one of those contexts. Third, the resulting ID token can carry 2 different kinds of evidence: the ACR claim showing the achieved assurance class and the AMR array listing the methods actually used. Fourth, the relying party or resource server uses those claims differently. It checks ACR when policy depends on assurance level, and it checks AMR only when it specifically cares about the presence of one method type, like hardware key or auth. On the wire, the distinction is visible in both directions. In the authorization request, the client asks for ACR values, for example, earn:, mace:, in common:, IAP:, silver, or a NIST-inspired profile string defined by that ecosystem. The user authenticates. Then the ID token comes back with claims such as ACR equals that achieved level, auth time recording when it happened, and AMR as an array like password and auth or PWD and HWK. The relying party must not reverse engineer ACR from the AMR list. That mapping belongs to the authorization server's policy engine, not to every client making its own guess. 3 failure modes show up repeatedly. First, assurance inflation. An application sees AMR contains MFA or auth and assumes high assurance even when the actual factor was SMS and the device posture was weak. Mitigation, enforce policy against the ACR claim, not a homemade lookup table over AMR. Second, ACR forgery or issuer confusion. A misconfigured or untrusted authorization server can mint elevated ACR values without actually satisfying the required controls. Mitigation, trust only controlled issuers, validate issuer and audience, and sender constrain high-value tokens where possible. Third, stale assurance. A token may still carry a strong ACR from hours ago while the current transaction now requires fresh authentication. Mitigation, combine ACR checks with auth time and RFC 9470 step-up challenges using MaxSage. The direction is toward richer, more explicit assurance signaling, not less. RFC 9470 step-up authentication makes ACR values and MaxSage operational at the API edge. OIDC for identity assurance adds verified identity evidence on top of authentication strength, so assurance is no longer just about factors, but also about how identity was proven. At the same time, phishing-resistant authenticators such as WebAuthn make AMR values more meaningful, while policies in banking, government, and enterprise zero-trust programs keep leaning on ACR-style outcomes for access decisions. The durable mental model is simple. AMR records the methods. ACR records the class. Identity assurance builds above both. All primary sources cited in today's guide are listed on screen. You'll find direct links to the RFCs and specifications in the video description below. If this breakdown helped you understand the topic better, please subscribe to Identity Expert. We publish a new protocol deep dive every week. Thanks for watching. If there's a specific identity standard, authentication flow, or security protocol you'd like us to cover next, drop it in the comments below. We build our content based on what the community asks for. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an episode.